So, this is the Freehold Vanishings. It's a home-brewed, slightly altered love child of Savage Worlds, alongside several other systems that make it work. There is several bouts of giggling about to start. Fuck you all. Anyway, it's a story of teamwork, friendship, adventure, within the boundaries of the genre. A smattering of horror, not too bad, more an R.L. Stein level of horror. 4 characters who we created last week, and who unfortunately we didn't record the character creation for reasons you can probably tell with all the laughter. So yeah, it is a. That's pretty much it. I don't really want to give too much away. I'll just let everybody introduce themselves, who they're playing, just a few light details. Who would like to go first? Ben, would you like to go first? Get it out of the way? Or are you too busy laughing? Shall I just introduce your character for you? Or are you actually going to pull your shit together at some point? Fred, have you got your shit together?
I've got my shit together. Okay, so my name's Fred. My character is called Harrison Smith. Sports nerd and high school jock. Massively into the Minnesota Vikings football team.
I forgot to mention this game is taking place in 1983.
The 1983 Minnesota Vikings football team. Had a nickname, Hail Mary, which was then shortened to HM and ended up just being shortened to H. So you may hear me referred to as that during the course of this. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Now, Ant, have you pulled your shit together, or are you still laughing?
No, I'm pretty good now. That's fine. So, I'm Ant. I'm playing Michael Knight, who is essentially Mouth from the Goonies, except he's a bit more of a geek. He's part of the AV club, uses wit and humour and sarcasm to sort of get himself through his crappy life.
Okay.
Yeah?
Bit of a rough home life.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's cool. And I've just noticed his favourite tune's Def Leppard Photograph, which I can live with. Ben, how are we feeling? Do Mossy first? Mossy, would you like to...
Sure. My character's called Chloe, and she's your typical high school newspaper...
Nerd.
Like nerd, yeah.
I'm sensing a pattern.
That's pretty much all I'm giving away for now.
Okay. Right on. Will that do you? Right. Ben, now, finally, Ben. Come on, let's do this. Shouldn't have clapped near the microphone. Apologies, people's ears.
My name is Ben, and I'm playing Lexi Mack, who is a cheerleader.
And will that do? Okay, that's all you want to give away. That's fine. So yes, these 4 characters, we've worked out relationships, we've worked out how they fit together, or sort of fit together, how, you know, whether the relationships are very loose or whether they are quite sort of like best friends. They're going to be facing some challenges over possibly weeks, and if this fits really well, then we may do another... What are you... Wow. The tone for the night set already. You stinky ass mofo. Right.
You can cut his fart out, right?
No, it's fine. We'll keep it in. Game on. It's the sort of dream where you know you're dreaming, all in black and white. Before you can decide whether it's your room or not, you notice a figure watching you, still and quiet. A reflection in the tall, freestanding mirror your grandmother bequeathed to you before you were born. On closer inspection, you could swear it is your own reflection regarding you. Eyes the only points of colour in this monochrome dreamscape. Typical freehold green, as many of the parents like to joke. Somewhere between cloudy grey and beer bottle green. Staring. Drawing nearer, you feel a prickle, noting the myriad bloody scratches on your reflection's pale arms. In the same moment, a hand is raised, brushing an errant leaf from the must and windswept locks. Unconsciously, you mirror the action, only to find no such stowaway. You find yourself frozen, glued to the spot, transfixed, even as your reflection steps from the mirror without sound or emotion, brandishing a broken piece like a knife. Welcome to the Freehold Vanishings. How are we?
Good.
Fucked up after that, or
Gotta admit, I do need a new change of underwear.
that is somebody's dream. One of you's had that. I will tell you who shortly, because I don't want it to have any metagaming effects on what follows. Now, the real question, and this is a question you'll answer during this session, is where were you when Jenny Floss disappeared? Now, Jenny Floss is her brother Mikey Floss is basically one of your two's best friends. My mum created the character, hence Floss. Nickname Flossie.
Creative.
Very masculine.
Creative in this.
Okay, so Harrison, you and Mikey Floss are on the football field of your school. The teachers have decided that, knowing what everybody knows, this news has spread like wildfire. Jenny Floss has disappeared. The third disappearance of a child in the past maybe couple of weeks. The first two were found dead, murdered. This is basically what's been leaked so far, or what's been told out so far. There is a lot of bullshit rumour mongering amongst the kids. The younger kids are being told, like the parents are telling them sort of scary stories to try and stop them from misbehaving. Get them in on time. Now, Mikey Floss, his older sister Jenny disappeared. Jenny's 15, and he's on the football field with you. He's not a footballer. I think he's a runner. But you both know each other through the sports, sort of, young sports clique. And you're just basically throwing the football back and forth. And he's just vented. He's just like, freaking out a bit, just like I saw her yesterday. You called her a dipshit in the morning. Like she pushed me, and then I left and I went to school, and I told her I'd see her later, and he's just basically freaking out, and you're throwing the ball back and forth. If you'd like to make me a quick, just a basic, just a D4 and a wild die there. Just you're lobbing the ball back and forth. Yeah, you lob it, and it's fine. He basically he keeps making the same throws back to you, and they just keep sailing wide, and you're like, that's okay, I'll get that one. And but he's venting at the same time, so he's not paying any attention to his rolls at all. Not rolls, throws. Wow, broke the wall. So yeah, he's basically just freaking out. Would you have anything specific to say to him, or would you just sort of let him do his thing?
So at this point, obviously, I know kind of what's gone on. I know she's not around because he's.
You know that she's disappeared.
So
you know that the other two kids disappeared, and then were found a short time later.
So I obviously don't try and tell him that everything's going to be okay, because in reality, deep down, I probably know it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I give him a bit of space and hope that us throwing this football around is going to release a bit of angst he's got, I guess.
Okay. Well, he's busy, like he's freaking out and just trying to. Let's make me a cool roll. Make me a cool roll to try and chill him out. Maybe sort of calm him down. Re-roll that 4 again.
It's a 6.
So yeah, 4, fine. You managed to calm him down. It's not as calm as somebody can be if their sisters just vanished, and these other kids who've been found. It wasn't nice. That's all you've got from it.
Okay.
The grown-ups are really annoying about it, as you would be, as you'd expect. As a grown-up, you'd expect it, but as a kid, you're just like, oh my god, why won't you just tell me? But as a kid, you're quite annoyed by it. You just know that it's not good, and the parents aren't looking too happy these days. Like you've noticed when your mum hugs you, she hugs you a little bit tighter than before. Like kind of to the point where like, all right, okay, you're kind of hurting me now. That sort of thing. So Mikey sort of he's tossing the ball up and down in his hand, and he's just like, "Can you find her? You and your friends, just find her. I'll do anything. I'll put a word in with the coach. I'll do something, anything to get you on the team, or just do something. Do you want money? I'm sure I don't have any money, but I'm sure I can get you money. Can just find her?
Well, I sure want to be on this team, so.
Do we discuss your?
Let's not.
We'll discuss your.
Yeah, let's
sure.
not. It'll only make me upset.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I can present it to my friends, and we can see if we can do anything for sure. I mean, I'm going to hold you to putting that word in for me with the coach.
He's like, oh, absolutely. My dad and the the coach, they're like that. No, they play golf on the weekend, but nice. So yeah, that's probably where that little sort of snippet would go, because this is kind of going to be a few little bits of where we meet up with you. You've already got your relationships and how you link up eventually, but I'll just see. Michael. Not Mikey, Michael Knight. Mr. Class Clown, Mr. Thinks he's funny, Mr. Pissed off the maths teacher whose name evades me one too many times, and is currently sat while all the other students have been let have the run of the school. They're not allowed off the school grounds for obvious reasons. They're waiting for something to happen, that or 3 p.m. You're sat in a room in detention, so you're kind of looking out the window. You can hear other kids talking in the room. There's like a little girl. She must be so many grades below you, talking to this other little girl really animatedly about a story that her mum was telling her, and it's another one that because you've spoken to Harris, and that these stories are being more commonplace. These scary stories that are basically a way of parents saying, well, go to bed, otherwise such and such a body will find you. Go to bed, or this will happen. If you don't turn up on time for tea, if you don't eat this, that, the other, then such and such body will find you. Now I'm just trying to find the you hear, make me a roll for, should we call it an insight roll, because that's probably going to be your investigation one. It's a d6 plus your wild eye, which is d4, black d4. Because you're using green, aren't you? Yeah, ignore me, sorry, talking out my ass. Okay, oh wow, so roll them both again. Okay, so that's a 6 and a 9. Okay, so a 9 is a success with a shift. You hear a couple of names. You hear you basically, you've got nothing to do. You are just killing time. Sat there looking out the window and secretly earwigging on these two. Now, you hear talk of first creatures referred to as the creeps.
Okay.
Now the creeps, as you might expect, are literally like things made of black tendrils, like onyx, oily tendrils that just appear from nowhere and will just wrap themselves round whoever trying to wrap themselves around, and just drag them to who knows where.
Okay.
Maybe pull them to pieces in the process. This little girl was told. You're actually quite worried about how much this little girl was told, because her mum seems to have tried to really put the boot in and sort of go, you will get pulled to pieces and you will die, that sort of thing. And the kid's like, okay, I'll eat my greens, that sort of thing.
Damn conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. Now, you also hear tale of the Tinder Man. Now, why did I not think of that when I was open? Now, when I say Tinder, I don't mean the
For the record, everybody pointed at Ben.
This is 1983.
So it's not anything to do with power swiping, no?
Don't get ego there. Put your phone down. Wow, it's supposed to be a really dark moment. Now, the Tinder Man, you're not exactly sure whether he's made of wood, or whether he's just like a wizened old man who, like doggers, like look as they're walking dogs. Well, this guy looks as he's just going out fishing out bits of things and putting them in a thing. And apparently he steals children. That's all you got.
My character's 14. She doesn't know what a dogger is.
All right. Well, she's not in this scene, so it's fine.
That's alright.
Was dogging, you know,
She will know after she met the Tinder
was dogging commonplace then? I know we're going off subject here, but fuck
You
it.
would know.
You know, I was only 300 at that point. Yes, GM Chris, by the way. Completely forgot to mention that in the first place. Okay,
Should we do
so
our ages?
this...
We haven't got all
You're
night.
sat next to this window, earwigging on this. You hear enough of it, and then next minute you feel just like somebody's just flicked you on the back of the head. Turn around, and your nemesis, Jensen Johnson, JJ, sat on the opposite side of the room,
Jensen Johnson.
doing the mirror opposite of you. Instead of looking out the window and like dreaming and stuff, he's been sat there with a piece of tissue paper, a straw, and he's lined up no less than 100 spitballs on the desk, and he is literally. It's like you've not been really concentrating, and he's managed to draw. You've seen the LEG thing. It's like that. He's basically he's drawn like a dot to dot around you with spitballs, and it's only by pure chance that one of them hit you in the head.
Oh.
He is probably you have class clown between you. You know you hate this guy. Your class clown thing was more of a side effect of your problems at home, but
Yeah.
this guy wants class clown. This guy is just like he's a dick to be a dick,
Okay.
and he's just like you know, and completely unapologetically, he's just like grinning away, shit-eating grin on his face, and he's just like. And starts scooping up another one. He sat across from the classroom, like far side of the room, probably 3 or 4 desks away. These are the wraparound desks that you'd be familiar with, not the new ones that are massive and stuff and that you can choke slam somebody through if you're feeling specifically energetic. But that's another story. So yeah, it's crack.
Okay, right, so who else is in the room?
There's the 2 little girls.
Yep.
No idea why they've got. You assume it's for giggling.
Yeah.
The reason why they're in there. They've just giggled at the wrong time and somebody's gone detention. They are of absolutely no hazard to anyone. And it's just the 4 of you.
So no teacher.
There's been a teacher in. It's kind of like Breakfast Club. He comes in, he checks on you, gives you the pointy finger of death, and then just does one. Goes back to his office. Smokes, because this was before the smoking ban, so he sits in his office and smokes and reads the paper.
Okay. Start off simple. I'm just going to flip in the bird.
Nice. And he just like that is exactly what he'd expect of you, because you two have had this thing going on for a while. But that's the equivalent of you going like and blowing him a kiss across the room. This is, although you fucking hate each other, on the surface of it, somebody could come in and be like, wow, these 2 really are friends.
It's that much hatred.
Oh, this is pure hatred.
It's gone all the way around the world back to loving each other. That's how much you hate each other.
Now, do you want to think about it and we'll come back to you? Or do you want to continue and have you got anything you would like to do with him?
What's his reaction?
Oh, his reaction's just like just sort of like you would expect if somebody blew a kiss at you across the room jokingly, you'd just be like, you dick.
Right, yeah, come back to me then.
Okay.
I'll have a think about that's going to go.
Lexi. Oh, I'm going to kill that dog. I'm not really. Yeah, apparently I am. Food break. Okay, so we're back. Which is what you have to say during these things. Lexi, you are currently... You found out about Jenny Floss probably about an hour or so ago. You're in a hallway. You know the hallways that are just lined with lockers? And your sort of cheerleader clique is just like leaned up against there, just chatting away. Marcy, who you remember from... You had a phone call with her. And you two are kind of like rivals and such. Well, listen to this. You basically, she's just giving you a load of shit, like indirectly, like backhanded comments, like sort of, talking about going, the kids have made up this absolute, they're like, oh well, it's this, it's got to be a serial killer, it's got to be a serial, and the lads are talking about serial killers. completely not paying attention to the little kids who are walking past and are just like, proper just getting earfuls of this horrible detail about, about dead kids and about what serial killers have known to do to people. So, been doing to people. Shut up.
Known to been doing to people.
Yeah, that's what I do. I get off on a little train of thought, and then you got what I meant anyway. So yes, on Marcy's side, it's kind of like she's sort of like
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch, mega bitch. And she's churning on about criminals, and she goes, oh, Lexi, your dad's a criminal. Your dad's a criminal. He'll know about this. Does he know any serial killers? And it's just this general,
Who do you think the killer is?
This general laughing. It's like, how the hell should I know? Go and ask your dad. And then there's just the dickhead lads are just laughing around her, and her dickhead mates because it is literally, this thing is split in half. Your half and her half. There are people who hang around with you, and there are people who hang around with her, but the whole group kind of has this tentative sort of, not ceasefire exactly, but like, you all hang out, but, bitchy as anything. You've heard of a scum of hive and villainy. This is just a scum of horrible, backstabbing people who just say really nice things to each other's faces. I can't read that. So, yeah, she's basically just giving you a load of shit. Do you just stand there and take this?
No,
or
knock her out.
You knock her out? Go out?
Yeah.
Just bash her head off a locker?
Yeah.
Put her teeth out?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. What, just right then and there after she drops that shit and you just go up and try and punch her teeth out?
Yeah.
Go for it. You don't have a fighting, so make me, it'll be 2d4s and you'll take a -1 to each, so roll. What's that?
A 3 and
a 1 and a 3. Okay, you managed to punch her locker doors open and you swing, miss, punch the locker door back and it just bang against the, sorry again microphone. Really? You're going to spend a penny already just to knock this bitch out? Right, re-roll the roll.
I believe that would be a Benny.
That was a Benny spent. There's the first Benny, first blood.
I'm going to focus on knocking this bitch out.
You're going to focus on knocking her out. Do you do realise what happens if you fail this?
I'm going to punch the fucking locker
Okay,
again.
so what have you got there? That's a 2 and a 3. So it's not.
That was a 1.
Oh shit.
A 1
That is a critical fail. You managed, by failing on a focused roll, you've managed to punch her locker door, slam it back against the next locker, because they're all like really tightly packed in together. Slam it against the next locker, make an absolute ton of noise, draw the attention of not one but 2 of the sort of teachers who are patrolling the halls. Listen to this. You've also opened up your hand at the same time. You've got a, I'm not going to say the word gash.
There's an open wound.
There is an open wound on your hand which is going to need stitching very, very shortly because it is bleeding like an SOB. What? No.
For future reference, everything Ben writes down, I'm going to say.
Really?
Well, yeah, because...
This is wise because it just opens up enabling, tactics. So if we just leave it, let it happen, and so now that scene ends with you having basically gone at this girl and just tried to twat her and ended up opening your hand up on the thing. Now, to be fair, this girl fakes concern really, really well, as do her friends. The whole group's like, oh my god, and they kind of, some of the girls as you walk away should have knocked her out. Yeah, I should have knocked her out. And all that sort of thing.
On the way out.
You're already gone. You're already being escorted by one of these teachers, like supply teachers and that, towards the medical thing to get your hand looked at because you've just basically opened it up on there. Now, Chloe, passing, you hear kind of a ruckus in the hallway, the slam of a locker, which is not unusual because the dickheads and the boys generally fight in the hallways and stuff, and these footballing knobheads like to kick the shit out of each other. But then you see a friend of yours, you're in the same class as her for English, being walked past escorted past by one of the teachers, like holding onto her hand. But then you turn back to the girl who's currently sat across from you on one of the other like high stool benches in the room that your school paper has taken as their HQ, your home away from home sort of thing. Doesn't have your dark room like at home, but it'll do for the moment. Plus, it has a really, I mean, for the time it was an amazing computer, but for now it's really bad computer. It's Monica Parsons, school president, your own personal nemesis, bitch troll extraordinaire, the girl who you wrote a rather scathing article about and managed to upset quite a while ago. Now, for audience purposes, the reason that this article was written, or the things involved in it, will probably be explained at a later time, but it has caused friction, shall we say. But she's currently facing you for a different matter. She's essentially basically telling you not to do what you automatically want to do. As soon as you heard missing girl, you're like, the nosy inside you just went, investigation time, grab the camera, grab the pad, grab everything, go and investigate anyone, everyone, absolutely everything, at the cost of absolutely everyone who cares. No matter who you upset, you are Lois Lane. You are literally, you blast through these things and try and find out the truth. You want the truth, no matter who gets in the way. But she's currently telling you not to investigate this thing. She's telling you there's already been 2 kids. She's like, there's already been 2 kids that have disappeared. We found them. They've been dead. Here's another one. It's only another matter of time before Jenny. And she starts to sort of well up, but then manages to get rid of it. It's like, I'm asking you, as a favour, don't investigate this. Just let it go. Let it go. The police have got this. They've got it.
Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Absolutely no irony in the voice
roll
at all.
cool for sincerity, because even I didn't believe that. And a white. Where's your wild die? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Roll them again.
Both.
Yeah, because they both exploded. That was a pair of 4s. And a 2 and a 1, so that's a 6 and a 5. Okay, so you succeeded without a shift, but you succeeded. She kind of looks at you like I don't believe you, but I don't really have any reason to be able to push this any further, so I can't really sort of say, you've done a decent enough job. She doesn't believe you, and she knows you're full of shit, but she will, she'll let this drop for the moment, and if she needs to, she'll just go to the head.
Even if I'm being sincere, she wouldn't believe me anyway, because she's a knob.
Yeah. Thing is, you know things about her that lots of other people don't know. You investigated her quite thoroughly, and she sort of she's walking out of the room. You've got the chance to ask her a question if you'd like to pitch anything her way.
Not even close.
Flip her off to her back, or
no, ignore her. Get back to what I was doing.
Okay, what were you doing?
Well, after hearing all that noise and seeing the commotion, I'm sensing a story.
Opportunistic little bastard.
So I'm going to make my way to the nurse's office.
Okay, well, yes, you can start to do that. Michael.
Yes.
She starts making her as Chloe starts making her way to the nurse's office. It's kind of one of these where it's like a chain thing. She walks past the room that you're in, but she walks past it like maybe across the courtyard outside that you were looking at out of the window before Jensen started flicking spitballs of gob and tissue and shit at you.
Okay.
So you kind of see her passing, and you're just like, but she doesn't see you.
Okay.
And then you turn around to him like, I hate you, I absolutely hate you. So what's the crack?
Okay, so I'm going to stand up and head towards the teacher's desk.
Okay, he's not there at the desk, but he's left the room, but you're not exactly sure when he'll be back. He just kind of comes back every now and then. I think he doesn't do it with any sort of degree of consistency to try and catch you off guard. In case you go full breakfast club and just, I don't even know, it was out with him, wasn't it? Ish, sort of, possibly. No, man.
So I'm going to go up to his desk and try and find some paper.
Okay. There's like stacks of lined paper. It's that really crap school paper. Like if you want to go out and buy a proper notebook, you can go out and buy them. This is kind of stuff that's like tracing paper, like toilet paper.
Could I make a straw from it?
Not this stuff, no.
Is there none
But
anywhere
you could literally throw a piece of this in your mouth, chew it up, and then fur on him.
I'm going to take a load of the tracing paper back to my desk.
Okay. It's like sort of, you know, like if you look at these two types of paper, you've got the really shit, you know, that sort of crap
the
paper.
old
and then you've got the
crap
decent
tracing
paper you
paper
can actually make a straw out of.
Yeah, so I'm going to go
That
back
sort of
and
thing.
just start chewing on a couple of pieces.
Like,
Proper.
not quite doing it, but sort of, you know, like, yeah, bitch, I'm going to return fire really shortly and you're going to regret this.
Yeah.
Okay. Jensen's just like, he's managed to get, like, as you moved, he managed to sort of, like, put, like, you know, like, dots after you. So you kind of look like the reverse of Pac-Man.
Oh.
Pac-Man, you love Pac-Man at the moment, but whenever you get the chance to play it, you have to go to a friend's house to play it. But it's kind of like reverse Pac-Man. As you're moving away, these dots are just appearing on the window behind you. The little yeah, that's probably how he sees it as well, because his parents have got money, so he has a game system. He's like you were bound to hate this kid, even if he hadn't tried to pick on you and Harrison years ago. That's you would like genetically designed to hate one another. Now he's managed to get he's got this really quite skillfully done grid of very very similar spitballs on the table, and you've managed to get one piece of paper in your mouth and go.
It is a big piece of paper though.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's like chewing tobacco at the moment.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Well, at that point, you both. I mean, unless you actually are going to, go at him. Okay. You've basically got a mouthful of chewed up paper. What's the plan?
All right. So I'm going to spit it into my hand.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to him, show it to him.
From across the room.
From across the room.
Okay.
And I'm just going to quote a great film. Say hello to my little friend. And then I'm just going to throw it across the room at him.
1 minute, I need to roll very quickly. Odd number teacher walks in as you're doing it. Even number teacher doesn't walk in as you're doing it. That's an even number. Shit. Okay. Now if you'd like to make me a roll for... Ooh, this would just be a straight
Spitting
up...
roll.
Yeah, straight up, just a pair of D4s.
So I've got 4.
5. Okay.
5 and a 2.
This thing, it gets him, but it gets him like on the coat. It doesn't get him. It doesn't like hit him in the face or anything
Still
horrible.
spitball.
But it hits him. He's got quite. You can tell his parents have got money. It's a fact that he likes to rub in your face quite a bit. But his probably new jacket, it's not been long of a new school year, has got just spitted up grubby paper, like stuck all down his sleeve. At which point there is a tannoy. The annoying school tannoy, the one where it's like he's standing too close to the speaker first. You get that sort of, that sort of squeal first, and you get this. Could all students, what do you call it now? Go to the sports hall immediately. All students, no exceptions, to the sports hall immediately. Principal Edwards will be delivering a statement shortly. No exceptions. Sports hall now. Now, everyone's heard this. If anyone wants to make any sort of insight rolls to try and glean something from this,
I can.
you're probably busy, so I'd say you can't.
I certainly
You
I'm just going to maybe wait there slowly and hum the Knight Rider theme tune.
Okay, yep.
I can.
You two can probably make the rolls. You've got to make yourself an insight roll. That's a 3 and a 3.
My insight's D8, so it's just one D8.
D8 plus your D4 wild die. It's always your D4 wild die.
That one.
The black one. That's how you distinguish between wild and none.
Okay. Racist. That was not a good roll.
No, that really wasn't. Okay, so you just hear this thing, and it basically just hears not the headmaster, but one of his underlings, like the joy of having the mic and just being able to bark these orders and tell you where to go. At which point we would find you. What's that? Oh, double threes.
Yeah. Do I not even hear anything other than that on that? Okay.
It doesn't meet the 4. It has to be a 4 for it to succeed. A 4 is a universal. I don't know what you call it. A thing of success, mark of success on this system. Love child of savage worlds. So yeah, we basically find you all in the. What's written there? Okay. basically we find you all in the sports hall. You've got the football field outside with the bleachers and the big, whatever they're called, forks at either end of it. I don't know.
You mean the football posts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've got any special term other than football posts.
Just
okay, that's fine.
football posts.
All right. You're the stats man. So you've got those outside. Inside, this thing's probably for more like basketball or netball. I don't know if they had netball or anything like that. It'd just be basketball, wouldn't it? But you've got all the benches, and all the benches for some reason they perfectly fit the entire student thing. All the faculty are either sat on chairs or leaning up against walls on the opposite thing. Podium in the middle. It's like this thing's been thrown together in a bit of a hurry. Because there's the head teacher principal has a megaphone. Fuck, now I do this thing again. And he literally he strides up and down this thing, and it's like, okay, children, as of this evening, you've no doubt heard the what was the word? The disheartening news. There will be a curfew in effect for the entire town of 7 p.m. 7 p.m. for the entire town, no exceptions. The police will be. You'll hear like a chuckling from several other bunches of students. There are police present as well. So if you want to make a roll, anyone who has any sort of, make me an imagination roll if you'd like.
Yeah.
If you can sit out of it if you want, or you can stay in it.
I'll roll it.
I give it a go.
Wow, is that a pair of ones, Ben?
It's a 4 and a 1.
Okay, re-roll the 4 then. That's a 5. 2 and a 3. 1 and a 3. And a 2 and a 3. Wow.
Can I have
Okay. You can imagine, because you are in the sort of social in-group, you can actually sort of imagine that this is a result of the police of more recent years have become a bit of a joke. There's not a great deal, or there wasn't a great deal to do in this town, so they are badly out of practice, badly out of shape. They basically became people's errand boys. You saw them doing things like moving stuff around for church, church things and bake sales, and moving things for the, just basically becoming errand boys. So you can imagine that rather cruel laughter is to do with that. Now, the principal sort of he goes up and down, just walks up and down, starts telling everybody the reasons behind this, and that everybody needs to stay safe, and he's going to pass you on to the 2 policemen who are there. Now, these 2 policemen you don't recognise. These 2 policemen, they look a bit more like the current policemen, but as if they'd had a bit of a shaping up. So these guys are obviously from out of town. New additions. Obviously, it's been a couple of weeks, there's been a couple of kids missing. So these guys are there. Yeah, these guys are there to investigate this specifically. Now, the first one gets the microphone, is like, good morning, children. I'm Detective Barnes, this is Detective Noble. We are here to, to make sure that the missing children reappear in town safe and unharmed. From somewhere, you hear one of the kids goes like, "Oh, good job with that." From somewhere else, you hear this, "Woo!" And the principal just immediately locks on him, and a couple of the teachers are like you after you see me, that sort of thing. They go full senior on him.
So it doesn't say you can't see me.
Exactly. So yeah, these lads get chastised quite severely, and these guys basically say they wander up and down like before, only sort of it's like they've rehearsed this thing, like they've done it before, or they've got it from some playbook or something, and it's it's like, we don't want you to investigate this, we don't want you to take it on yourselves, but if you do happen to notice anything out of the ordinary, anything strange, anybody lurking, we would like you to report this to your teachers, to your head teacher as soon as possible. If you see one of us, please, and if you have any sort of information, please, bring it to us as quickly as you can, or as promptly as you can. They don't want to sound too eager about this, but these guys are basically playing this, by the book. And it's just, good day. Passes it back onto the head, one of the headmaster, but he passes it on to one of his underlings. He's had enough. he's escorting one of these lads out, probably the woo guy.
John, everyone calls him. John.
We don't know yet. We don't know. I think his name's Mark. Mean guy.
Ain't nobody
Mark
seen
Mean
him.
Guy.
Ain't nobody seen him for a while.
Surname Mean Guy. So yeah, sorry, in jokes. Yes, we see him leave, and then the teachers sort of go, one of the women ones, she picks it up and she's speaking into the wrong end of it for a moment, and then next minute goes, another one sort of turns it around and she says, "Okay, everybody, disperse now, please. If you'd like to go, everybody in detention, if you can return to detention, please." All the kids in detention are like, "Fat chance, I'm free." Jensen, you can hear him in the corner. He would have been the woo guy, but he's seen what happens, so he's just done one, and everybody just disperses. They've got the run of the school for probably another hour, an hour and a half. And nobody is to leave the school grounds. Everyone has been instructed after that to go straight home. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It's the end of summer, so it probably doesn't go dark until probably about way after the curfew. But they're not taking any chances. So now we find the four of you. Everyone else kind of peters out in their own, in their own groups and stuff. But the four of you find some reason to all just still sit there. Whether you're reading a comic or
Avoiding detention.
Yeah, avoiding detention, just trying to look really sort of like I'm just going to sit here and wait for an hour. How do you, what do you do to not attract attention to yourselves to look like you're just kind of like just kicking back here and chilling?
I sit there spinning my American football on my finger.
Okay. This brings the attention of one of the the teachers who passes you and is like Little Smith, looking good, just passes you. He's like it's just another one of these compliments you get on a daily basis. You either get really good compliments that you're not sure whether they're really good or not, or you get the ones where it's sort of like they just smell like, why can't you be more like your brother? Michael or anyone else?
Until everyone else is dispersed, I'm going to be looking like I'm tying my shoelaces.
Classic move.
For a good 10
He's got Velcro trainers on.
So, in the hope that nobody's actually paying attention, I'm going to be tying my Velcro trainers as if they have laces.
I'd assume you're going to be picking at your bandage or something for you've just basically received quite serious wound.
Yeah, I'm just going to be messing with my gash.
Wow. for a good 10 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Chloe, what would you be doing?
Flicking through my notepad, going over
Still
some of my
stewing
notes.
over that bitch, or have you learnt to let her go?
Oh, she's gone. I'm just flicking through my
Oh,
notebook.
she's always there in your mind though, because you two, you are literally, she is your nemesis. You all appear to have nemesi.
Nice pluralisation.
It's mine walked past because I've got a pencil
Was it
and I'm going to
nemesis?
stab her in the eye.
No, she was out straight away. She was in the in group. So let me just pause this a second. If you stab her in the eye, it kind of that's going to be one of these moments. Because remember the whole you're all inherently innocent and good people.
Stabbing someone in the eye sort of goes against that.
I
Yeah.
remember the rubber end.
Alright, okay.
Still
So you're going to poke her in the eye.
So you're going to erase her eyeball? Is that what you're going to try and do?
Okay.
Erase your eyebrows.
Poking her in the eye is fine. Just push that door. If you can reach.
So far, Ben's had 1.5 moves and he's tried to kill the same girl twice.
Yeah, pretty much.
I suppose.
Just leave it open a crack. But
I
it's fine.
suppose that's playing to type.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort my makeup out. It's all smudged.
How?
I've got makeup in my bag.
No, I don't mean how you're going to do your makeup. I mean, how is your makeup smudged?
So I just tried knocking that bitch out.
Alright, okay. So, alright, yeah, from people trying to grab at you, that's why you missed. Okay. Doing your makeup and shit. Okay. So, when everybody goes, you're all kind of I mean, it's okay. The whole concept of secret friends. For you to be seen with any, for Lexi to be seen with any of the others. I mean, Chloe, fine. School paper. Yeah, that could pass off as business. But with sports nerd, Navy nerd, it's kind of leaning towards social career suicide. So you're all friends. You've all known each other for a while.
We're the coolest nerds.
Oh, sorry, you're the coolest nerds, right? Okay, but still.
Yeah,
this is the 80s. This is one of these things where, like, if you come out social suicide, you will become a pariah. There is literally in the this sort of 80s genre thing. There is no real people aren't as accepting as they are now. You can't just sort of come out and people be like, oh my god, that was really brave of you, blah blah blah. They're just like, ugh, get out, and then everyone boo this man, woman, LGBTQ, etc.
Do you get stoned? Is stoned still a thing?
I don't know. I think that was
Would I not be more of an accepted nerd though, being the class clown?
I don't know. I think it's kind of people know of you because you're quite loud and you're sort of you're like, haha, look at me, sort of thing.
But
by loud he means
class
obnoxious.
clown.
Yeah, obnoxious, but not as obnoxious as Jensen. So you and Jensen are both known about, but weirdly, he's more popular than you. Because he's somehow managed. Yeah, he's somehow managed to outdick you. Tony Rick. Yeah, so he's somehow managed to outdick you. And
Outdick you.
no, you can never outrick him. Oh, I need some beer for that, but I can't do that with it. Yeah, you already know. So yeah, essentially, you're all basically sat on your own, and this is the first time you've really got to chat since you all found out about this girl missing. Girl going missing. Now, at this point, I'm probably going to point out that it was Michael who had the dream.
Okay.
You don't know anything about this. That was one of the things you were looking out the window trying to figure out in the morning. You kind of sat there and were like, that was fucking horrible. That was really, and there's lots about it that sort of you look at it and go, well, obviously, that's, cause there was lots of it. You really weren't sure. You weren't sure if it was you, if it was your room, if it was anyone. Were you seeing it through somebody else's eyes? Was it actually you? It can't be you because you're alive.
It's
and
just
that was
a lot of questions.
That was the point where spitball hit you in the back of the head. So, but anyway, carry on as you were.
I'm going to use this time to think more about my dream.
Okay.
Just for the time being until there's movement around there.
How does the conversation start? Because this is the point where basically everyone has done one. There is no reason for anyone else to be in here. 1 minute, and it's a bit warm, so anyone by choice wouldn't be in here because it's sunny outside, and this thing isn't air-conned. Go on.
Hey, Teddy.
Stop calling me Teddy. When I'm a famous quarterback, you will know that my name is not Teddy. How many more times do I have to go over this with you? It's H.
Nice.
Teddy.
She's really just busting your balls. She busts your balls on a like week by week basis. You won't speak to each other in the corridors, but when she sees you, she always sort of like is like you're like Teddy, right? And you're just like, you know who I am. You know who my brother
Teddy
was.
Aldi.
Everybody knows me because of who my brother is. Which is you feel a bit shit for using it because at times the whole brother thing for you is. You're living in his shadow, but occasionally it's nice to have that to be able to use against people because some people will give you,
But being called by my brother's nickname isn't cool.
Oh, right, okay, that's cool. All right, wow, little Teddy. Shit. That's cool. Pretty grim. Yeah.
Teddy LD.
Not cool at all.
So, yeah, how do you react to this? You are sat like sort of 1, 2, 3, sort of in a little diamond on the things on the thing the bleachers. Are they bleachers when they're inside? I know they're bleachers when they're outside.
I guess
because of sun bleached.
I guess there still would be bleachers for the purposes of this.
Yeah. So anyway, how does it go? I mean, I can sit back now and it's just you discuss amongst yourselves what you know or. this is your first proper chance to sort of play your characters, if you will.
I was speaking with Jenny's brother before.
Mikey. Yeah, Mikey, you going to the bathroom? You know.
And
sorry, Mal.
he seemed pretty, well, understandably, pretty weirded out by the whole thing. Because everyone is aware of what happened to.
Oh yeah, this is one of these things. That sort of news. It's a very small town, and there's one school for this town.
So
everyone knows.
He offered.
Even the foreign exchange student knows. He offered us
a reward to try and find her, and I think with our particular set of skills, we may be able to find her. But I think it is definitely something we can do as Mystery Inc. I mean, I know there's a curfew, but
you've still got an hour and a half of school left.
Oh boy, you want to come back to the newsroom and show up an hour and take a look at all my notes. This is the third one that's gone missing. Do you think I haven't picked up on that already?
You have a wall of weird shit. That is, it's definitely in character.
Okay, so yeah, absolutely, yeah. Let's try and see what's happening.
See if we can piece something together.
So yeah, all of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to follow as well.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you kind of take separate routes. Like Lexi would probably take a separate route to you or something because she's still not come to terms with the whole. You know, it's fine not to be part of the social in group, etc., etc. And when we reconvene very shortly, we will find you in the school papers HQ. Alright, okay, so we're back again, and we've got the 4 members of Mystery Inc. Chloe, Harrison, Lexi and Michael currently in the school paper, the Freehold High school paper HQ, as Chloe likes to call it. And yeah, we are exploring her own wall of weird.
So, because Harrison would be very, very curious, I'd be doing a lot of pointing and a lot of, oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? So, I see some photographs and I look at them and I start immediately asking what they are.
Oh boy, well, this is pictures from when they found the first guy. Didn't really get a great deal. I did my best, and if you gotta look, pretty good. You can see the body. You also see lots of townsfolk in there. I'm wondering if any of them are suspicious, because you never know.
Oh, do you have any of these pictures are amazing. Do you have anything of the second?
I got one. It's not a very good one, because it was raining and it was dark, and I couldn't really get a great shot. But you could definitely see that it was a girl's hand.
Oh, well, they're really, really good pictures. I can see why you're ahead of the newspaper. But maybe a good place to start would be to see if any of the same townsfolk are in both pictures.
I think that's a good idea. Let's take the pictures down and have a look.
Well, I'll tell you now, these pictures that you've taken. In your eyes, they're amazing, and they are. You are actually getting to live your dream by doing this. But the sad reality of it is there's a lot of blurred back of heads. The pictures, the actual subject is in focus, which is great, but there's a lot of blurred back of heads and a lot of blurred faces. There are a couple of venues that you recognise. One was found outside basically the back of a local diner. And the other one was found sort of, there's a set of not bike sheds, but bike rack things near the local library, and they were basically found there. One was sort of like found not in a dumpster, next to a dumpster, not even stuffed behind a dumpster, just like laid on the floor next to a dumpster. The other one was tangled up in the bike rack, as though it had just been dumped there. That's the details that you got from your quote-unquote sources. Should we write those down on cards so that we've got venues to look at?
There's the same police officer in every one of them.
No, there isn't. Where the fuck's my pen gone?
Oh wait, no, it's the same.
I've lost my pen. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got local library. Oops. Be fine. Local library and the diner. Okay. Do you want to pause?
Yeah, just for a second.
Fuck it up. One sec. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so coming back to it, the comment that Lexi makes, fitting into her whole dumb blonde stereotype, she's basically said, "I recognise the same policeman in both things."
Wait.
Michael would no doubt at this point say, "Maybe it's a different policeman in the same uniform." Which
They do wear the same things.
absolutely it stinks of both the characters.
And
just
are we not a small town of only a few policemen?
pretty much. So there is a very high possibility that it could be the same policeman in the same thing. So that is actually a very, very good point.
Convenient, I think.
Well, making connections where there are none. Lexi, crime solver.
So this is where the two previous bodies have been found.
Yes, outside the local library, or the bike racks outside the local library, and outside the back of the diner.
Is there only one diner in this town?
They call it the diner because there are a couple of diners, but there is one diner that's sort of been the oldest diner. The new ones are the upstart diners, where they've tried to do this whole, like there's a hippy dippy one where they're trying this whole vegetarianism thing, which I'm sure will never catch on. I'm sure vegetarianism, just to put this in there, I'm sure vegetarianism was developed or considered long before the 80s, but just for the sake of it, I'm just putting it in there for a laugh. Have I got something to read?
Yes, very briefly.
Christ, what does it say? Bottom bit?
No, top bit.
Well, yeah.
There are only like two.
There's only two of them in the town. Sorry, right, okay. Reading things. So yeah, we've had the whole thing about the police and such. So yes, sorry.
Glossing over that.
Yeah, glossing over the dumb blonde moment.
And the reason that the dumb blonde recognised the policeman.
The reason that the dumb blonde might have recognised the policeman. Not that. As he gestures in the corner.
Maybe I should bring a camera next week and we'll team everything up.
Yeah, the behaviour will probably get slightly better if you know you're on camera.
No.
I'm not going to tap this.
Cut the nipples out of his
It's like he does to work.
Anyway, so back into your characters.
Well, if my history of watching TV and movies is anything to go by, the fact that these two bodies have been put in certain places.
Make me a TV geek roll. That would be a D6 and a wild D4.
Where are we? Pitfalls.
That is a pair of wands. So that idea that you would have had,
Forget about it.
you got a flash of that dream.
Could I not carry on with it but go in a completely wrong direction?
Just because you watched an episode of Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
So if my history of watching TV and films is anything to go by,
Go Jack impression.
the fact that these bodies were put here is important. What I've got from this is that the man or woman, whoever it is, wanted to go and get a book from the library, so dropped her off there, went and got a book.
Came back and realised she'd been found.
Realised she'd been found, run off, and then unfortunately made the same mistake again parked the body outside, like it's his car or
Outside the
something.
diner.
Outside the diner, went in for a sandwich, came back out, there's a crowd, and he's made that mistake.
We are dealing with the most dipshit
Have you
murderer
even
ever.
heard yourself?
In my mind, this makes sense. I've seen films. Wait, no, actually.
None of any relevance to this situation, but he's seen films.
I've seen things.
films too, but that's pretty way out there.
That'd come back to me in a minute.
My granddad says he
That's
sees
wrong.
films. I think it's just his cataracts.
Okay. Ben, what would Lexi be doing at this point? While everybody's looking at this thing, you've basically had your one... Stop it. You've basically had your one... sort of one comment made that's just gone completely tits up. Because they don't... This group, see, the reason why you still hang around with this group, if this group included Marcy or the other ones, that comment would have just got you torn to bits and they would have just given you a load of shit. This group are a lot more... I think the reason why you still hang around with them is because they're accepting and if you make a bonehead comment like that, they'll just sort of be like, no, they'll have a laugh about it, but it's a nice laugh, it's a friendly laugh, it's not a laugh. It actually feels like somebody's trying to stab you, like your other friends. So, what would you would you just be sat there still being a dumb blonde and staring into space? Wow, that's the excuse we can use when he can't think of something to say. It's weird because normally you always have something to say.
You've restricted me.
This is PG-13.
Yeah, he does normally have something to say, and it is always something
Wow.
that would not be broadcastable.
Yeah,
That's a way to say it.
I'm sure. No, if we play this long enough, we'll find a point where he can speak and think, do you know what? I can actually speak without saying something that's going to be like
Can I
edited
bring
out.
anything in my purse that I can play with?
Well, you'd have your normal purse. See, that's the thing, because you basically you'd have your school bag, but it'd be like a posh bag. You'd have a drink on you, yeah. You'd have drinks on you. You'd have, or not even a drink, because you like one of the popular kids. So the ones who it was more about form than function. It was more about aesthetically pleasing clothing and bag than function.
Would she have a Polly Pocket?
I don't know. Was that 80s?
I feel that was probably 80s.
She's like 14, so yeah, she's probably still at the point where toys are
relevant.
Toys are still fine, because you will still when you're on your own, you still be there with your little dinosaurs like Wash going, rah,
She's got
rah.
cheap makeup.
But then
I
when
can
people
imagine
come
she'd
in,
have
you're like,
like.
so
I can imagine she'd have like two Barbies that talk to each other.
I don't know for taking them to school though.
Cheap box of makeup.
Because basically, from what we've got so far, Lexi is all about the social standing that she's got. Well, the social standing that she's got is everything. That is the only thing. Her dad's in jail. Her mum's working like an absolute slave, 24 hours a day to try and keep them in the house. She's got older sisters who don't seem to have just outgrown her, or that's how it feels. Younger siblings she just can't be arsed with because she's a teen. So, yeah, she's kind of got to find her own little thing. The only thing that really sort of calms her, levels her out is a piano. And the
She
school
definitely hasn't got that in the bag.
No, absolutely. The school has
I don't know
access
if you
to
can find anything in a woman's
the
bag.
school has access to a piano, but it's like an old church piano where half of the keys are out of tune. And they've not quite done it yet, and nobody really seems to be able to play the piano. They have it at Christmas for the Christmas shows and stuff.
Is it one of those schools where they have the shit mid form kind of the one teacher that can sort of play piano that
Yes.
does an assembly?
Geriatric maths teacher
Who dabbles?
Yeah, he's responsible for half of the detentions in the school because he has absolutely.
He calls himself Pythagoras von Beethoven.
That'll be his nickname. That's
He's playing the organ at church on Sunday.
Yeah, he's that
could
guy.
be what the kids call him because he's such an.
He organises the raffles and stuff. He's that guy.
The tombola.
Yeah, he's such an absolute.
He's got
douche.
leather pads sewn onto his elbows
Yeah.
and stuff.
Bloke's name. He's like sort of. You really think that he should have been. He should have retired by now, but for some reason. And you can't see it being the love of the job. He's still, because he's such a grumpy old, crotchety old bastard. He's called Mr. Hughes, and he's tweed jacket, tweed pants, everything's tweed, and it's it's so.
Underwear.
Yeah, if he could have tweed underwear, that'd be so itchy. But yeah, he's so tweedy, it's unbelievable.
We like to call him Pythagoras von Beethoven.
Pythagoras von Beethoven. Let's write that down because that needs to add to the thing. So
I'm just going to play it in the corner.
Mr. Hughes, maths teacher. See, note cards are your friend. Maths teacher, Pythagoras. Von. He's not even German, is he, though?
No, he's not, no. He's from Middle America somewhere, so that makes it even funnier.
From New
See,
Hampshire.
some of the younger, like one of the younger teachers, you could imagine him playing, in a synth rock band in a named town,
like Sparks.
Yeah, he moonlights. He moonlights by going to a neighbouring town and playing in a synth rock band of an evening. But this guy, he goes home, has a cup of tea, maybe some cheese and crackers, and then just goes to bed because he is so old. It is unbelievable. So, what were we saying? We were saying too old to teach.
He's a session pianist for like a prog rock band.
What, the other teacher, the younger one?
No, the old guy.
Really? Jesus.
He's in Focus. Remember that band?
I actually really don't, and I'm 900 years old.
You don't remember Focus?
No.
They did a song called Hocus Pocus that had a load of yodeling in it.
Right,
It was
there's
just
one for
one
YouTube.
Yeah, it is. So if anyone does actually listen to this, check that song out.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got as far as Pythagoras von Beethoven and the abundance of detentions and stuff. Let me just write on here: creates detentions. Detentions. Well, yeah.
He is a bit of a dick. He's one of the maths teachers that has
creates detentions for fun.
That has like empty packaging for sweets that don't exist anymore all over his room because he liked the shape. Like he'll have like empty Toblerone packets because he likes the shape of them.
Toblerone?
Yeah.
Toblerone, yeah.
Cereal boxes because
it's a bit of an
nice.
experience in itself trying to figure out what was around in the 80s. Me, obviously, I've been around for 1,000 years.
Space hoppers.
Space hoppers. Fucking.
The thing is, for everyone listening that doesn't really know you,
I am 9,000 years old.
When we say the 80s, when we say the 80s, Chris has been through about 9 different 80s.
Exactly. I am the living embodiment of Numenera. This is the 9th world, and I have lived through all of them.
So it can be difficult for him to recall which specific 80s we are talking about. So we've got cereal boxes, and he liked it because they were trapezoids and rhombuses and all that good stuff.
I've completely lost the plot of where we were up to. We were discussing Lexi's proclivities towards piano. Okay, so Lexi's often in one corner, kind of playing the piano. In her mind, without a piano, she's kind of sat there playing the piano anyway. Back to the discussion at hand. What's the crack? Michael, would you have anything to commit to this discussion?
I'm rethinking my previous statement.
I would if I were you.
Due to the reaction of the group, I am rethinking. So I
think everybody quite enjoyed that. Everybody thought that was quite an important discovery.
To me, it doesn't seem like it was.
In hindsight.
In hindsight, yeah, I probably should have kept my mouth closed or rolled better. So,
or both.
Or both, yeah. So, thought, so I'm just going to ponder for a minute.
Okay.
Think about what you've done.
That's fine. Okay, well, you've got, a few options. Basically, you've still got probably about an hour's worth of school left before everybody leaves and disperses and hopefully goes home if they're doing as directed. Now, you've got an hour of that. Out of the window, you can basically see the faculty parking lot. And in the faculty parking lot, you've got the police car in there. You've got all the headmaster's car. This guy earns a lot. this town is kind of split. There is a lot of there's a bunch of the yuppie lifestyle sort of, quite well off, and then everybody else
with car phones.
Yeah,
Car
not all of them, but a bunch of them. There's a fair bunch of them who have car phones and that sort of thing, but you've got the majority is sort of working class,
Pickup trucks.
that sort of thing. You have, because obviously this school caters for the lower school, middle school, and high school as well. It caters for a lot of that. I actually thought you were eating a Benny then. Anyway, sorry.
Times are desperate.
I'm eating poker chip.
Diet's killing me.
Yeah,
No calories in a poker chip.
Really? Shit. Cereal bowl. In the car park you've got all these different cars, but there's a the police car, the typical sort of police cars that you'd expect from this sort of genre. The pickup trucks and stuff of more sort of students, mainly the Jock ones. A couple of more posh, littler cars, which obviously belong to the sort of the plastics of the group. I know that's a Mean Girls reference, and I'm really sorry.
You will.
I know I will be in
Nobody
time.
should ever do that.
Shut up. Anyway, but there is also a sedan in there. Sedan?
Sedan's right there.
Sedan. Yes, black sedan in there.
Does it have?
No, back it up. There's also a black sedan in there, and the black sedan is obviously, you see the plates on it, and it's got
Does it have Illinois plates?
Yes. Okay, I'll have to ask you about that reference
Blues
shortly.
Brothers reference.
Oh, that's alright then. Okay, yes. Oh, hang my head in shame. Anyway. Shame, dangling.
That's something Chris does as well.
First hand. Yes.
I was but a mere 85-year-old man.
You bitch. Anyway, so yes, out the window you can see the car park and stuff with the sedan, and the headmaster and the Agent Barnes and Agent Noble are stood in the sort of forecourt by there, talking quite heatedly. But you can still do your thing, unless you think you would like to move on, or if there's something else. We're going to do this in individual scenes, so it doesn't have to be massively sort of coherent and stuff.
I would very much like you to pause so we could.
It'll be fine. We don't need to worry about that. I think we managed to evade it quite deftly. It'll be fine. But yes, we will take a small break and be back in a second. These are really going to be really weird for people unless I put some sort of segue music in. It's just going to be like, okay, so now we're going to pause and we're back.
What elevator music in the middle?
Yeah, don't use that.
Alright, fine. In absolutely no way I'm allowed to go.
And if you use the
music, don't use what I just said.
Oh, that.
Yeah, please don't use that.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I can just maybe get the dog's toy and just go out of it or something.
And if you did,
it's fine. It was a slip of the tongue. It was
just
fine.
cut it.
I'll find a way to cut it. Don't worry.
Sit down. If you do use elevator
Really?
music,
Again?
I thought you paused it.
No!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So now we've got a discussion about me getting rid of it.
Yes.
Let's get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Right, let's get rid of the discussion of me discussing about getting rid of it.
Chris, cut to this point. Nice one. Now we're back, and
They don't know what they're doing.
okay, so we've reconvened with you in this room, laughing strangely to yourselves, even though this is not a laughing matter that a young girl has been taken.
Can we please just stop that again and restart?
It's alright, I'll just cut it off, it's
Good.
fine.
So we
And we're back once again with the Renegade Master. Shall I do it again?
Yes,
I'll just wait for the laughter to finish.
And we're back.
And we're back. See, I drank so that I wouldn't say once again with the Renegade Master. Okay.
You
Alright.
just said it.
I know, because either way it's going to happen multiple times. Anyway, so we're back and
Yes, that's what I say
Okay.
to them.
Yes.
The victims.
Yes, and you are still in the HQ of the school paper, the Freehold school paper. You are currently deciding what the best avenue of investigation is. Take it away.
Take it away.
Right. Well, I'm going to change I'm going to go down a different avenue anyway.
Thank you.
Can we not talk about this more later because I have to get back to detention?
Like,
because eventually Pythagoras will pop himself back in.
That's a good point.
you actually want to go back to detention?
It's not really a choice of wanting to. It's sort of a.
You are Judd Nelson from the Breakfast Club. You just, it's like, how about another and another? Well, do you know what? Next Saturday I'm gonna have to check my schedule. But do you know what? Throw me on another one.
Yeah.
So, but for the moment, yeah, that's legit.
Plus, I want to see Jensen because he's a dick.
Off you go then.
All right.
You want to see Jensen? Jesus.
All I heard was you want to see
Love,
Jensen and then Dick.
Love and hate want to see Jensen.
No.
All right. Okay. Wow. You're taking the love and hate to a really new, rather disgusting
Dark
place. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what's the crack? I'm going to keep asking that until somebody else starts to take over the reins from me. I'm supposed to be your arbiter and say how.
Has anybody heard of the folklore that is a Tinderman?
Wow, that sounds really genuine and like it's played by a character from the game. Yeah. Sorry, carry on. I'm not supposed to be heckling you and giving you shit. Carry on.
And we're back.
Let's just cut that whole first 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Should we just do it again? All right, okay. And we're back. So, yeah, we're trying to discuss we were discussing which avenue of investigation we were going to follow.
Okay, so has anybody else apart from me? My parents always used to tell me the story of a Tinderman when I was growing up.
This is a Tinderman.
To get you to eat your greens.
This looks like it could have been his handiwork. Surely you've heard of the Tinderman, right?
Let's make some rolls. Shit. What sort of rolls would they be?
Insight.
You're not going to make me do a Tinder roll, are you?
No.
I don't know how I feel about
I don't
it.
think I can make you do a Tinder roll.
Roll right, roll right.
I'd say this would be an imagination roll.
Alright,
Okay.
I've got a D4.
Oh, you've already heard it, so you know. Anyone else who hasn't done it?
Nope.
Well, you've already heard it off somebody else.
Oh yeah, my mum told me.
Re-roll that pink one because it was up on its edge. Wow, you have a D8 in imagination. That's amazing.
Yeah,
But you still failed it.
Can I have better down?
Wow.
She's out there.
Nobody's heard of the Tinder. So basically, the Tinderman to you is some bullshit bit of folklore that parents are telling kids at the moment to get them to go to bed. Weirdly enough, it's keeping loads of kids up, but at least it gets them into bed, into the rooms where the windows can be locked.
So what's the reaction of the group?
They don't want the man of wood to come in.
What's the reaction of this group?
Yeah.
You all sort of like, just literally shrug it off like it's some bullshit that the parents are.
No, but seriously, like when my mum told me about this, it seemed really, really real. Like she doesn't tell lies to me.
What did she tell you about the Tinderman?
She told me that he kills naughty children.
Wow, your mum's really fucked up. He only takes small children, but that's fine.
So it's dungeon.
That's what folklore is, though. Folklore does it, grows and expands and changes over time.
Well, funny enough, while I was in detention, before...
That was quick.
What?
Well, it was in detention when we started the session.
Yeah. Anyway, while I was in detention, before that knob Jensen decided to spit spitballs, there was two girls talking about him. I mean, they seemed visibly distressed in a way. So
They were about 9 or 10 years old.
yeah,
To be fair, anybody's pretty distressed any time they're around Jensen.
yeah, but it weren't him they were distressed about though.
Wow, makes sense.
It was the Tinderman. So
It's a Tinder.
I mean, I can't really believe it. I think it's a load of cobble, but they sort of believed in it all.
Cobble.
I mean, my mum's honest. She doesn't tell lies. So I honestly think you.
To be fair, every child thinks his mum and dad tell the truth all the time.
I think you.
Sorry,
I think
you again. I'll sit and shut up. Carry on.
I think you bunch of boneheads need to listen to what I'm trying to say.
I understand it. I mean, I don't know though, it's just... I can't properly understand it, in a way. You know, like, the way they explain it or something, it just doesn't seem plausible.
You're
That
all
just
fully
sounds like
quiet,
a
Lexi.
That sounds like a cover for like a serial killer or something.
You know what she's lying though.
To be fair, serial killer is the direction most of the popular crowd are going with this. As you would know this anyway, because you've asked people.
So now that sounds more of a reasonable response. A serial killer rather than some monster in a way.
I think it is the Tinder Man.
Are you going to drop them the knowledge that you know
Tinder Man.
about the timeline on things? I'm not sure if we've already done that, or you mentioned it before.
Well,
You'd overheard a certain conversation.
from my notes, when I was down at the crime scenes, gathering all my notes and everything, I did hear that they were found within a couple of days of each other. Now, earlier on, in the little school assembly thing, I also overheard one of the policemen saying that they had 48 hours to find the kid, which really kind of fits the profile of the other ones. And it's already been several hours already.
It's
So,
been about a day, to be honest.
Oh, she's dead.
But she's
That's hopeful.
she's also a year older than you. Just to point that out.
so it's already been a day already.
They weren't found a couple of days from each other. They were found a couple of days from after they disappeared. So that's why they've put the timeline on it.
We need to, if we're going to do this, we need to make a move because
I think we need to go and investigate to see if the police did miss anything.
I agree.
So where do we start?
Let's start at the diner.
Yeah, the diner.
Alright, yeah.
And we can have dinner as well.
Okay.
I need to go and see my mum for some money.
To skip
Meet you
forward,
there?
you would basically, we'd probably skip forward after this to the next scene, which would be the diner, or maybe if you thought if there would be something interesting to be found from you speaking to your mum, we could do that one. If anyone else has any other ones they want to do, any other ones they want to throw in here, because this all adds
I'm
up
happy to do conversation with my mum.
Okie doke.
The rest of us can be sat like having dinner in the diner or something, waiting for Harrison to catch up.
She'll drop me
I was
off.
going to say, is this now the main diner, the diner,
The diner.
the diner is
The one
how
where
many
we
times
found
can I say the diner? Is that's the one where that's the successful diner. You've got the upstart diners, which they're having to charge less, so you get a lot of the kids going to them because
We're
of the
going to
money.
diner that the body was found at.
Alright, so you're not actually going for food. That's okay.
Well, we're kind of doing both.
Sharing a plate of chips.
Yeah, I can't really afford
I
one.
was going to say, you're piss poor. So is he. She, sorry.
It's alright, I'll just buy like 2 large chips.
I'll pay another way.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay.
Getting money for one of their special hamburgers.
Okay, so we'll skip forward to, we'll have to find a name for that as well.
I love that special sauce.
Anyway, we'll jump forward to you get home and your mum is in the kitchen because she's a homemaker and she's just in the kitchen and she's making something. She's making a pie or something.
Mum, well, nobody believed me, Mum, when I told them about the Tinder Man.
She's like, why'd you go talking to other kids about the Tinder Man? I told you about the Tinder Man. The Tinder Man's nothing to be telling other kids about. It's up to their parents to tell them about the Tinder Man. I tell you things about about these sorts of things to help you go to sleep, to sort of make you understand that you're safe at home. You're safe with your father and me. You come home, you lock the doors, you're safe. Nothing can happen to you. No one can. She gives you a big hug, and it's another one of these crusher, spine-breaking hugs. No one can take you away from us, and it's just like squeezing you.
But what about the kids? What about the kids who have gone missing from school? Has the Tinder Man taken them?
She sort of, I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm gonna give it to you straight. no parents would really tell their kids like this, but you're now, how old are you again?
13.
You're now 13. You're a young man, and I think you need to hear it like an adult would. We're worried, and we don't know exactly who's taken these kids. We heard about Jenny. We heard we know you had a soft spot for Jenny. It'd be nice for you to for you and your friends to maybe come over and just maybe come and watch come and watch TV with us, and then just chill out. But when she uses chill out, other parents doing it, stop. Other parents doing it, it would seem quite creepy. You're not creepy, but like when parents try and speak kid slang and it comes up. Your mum's actually pretty cool. So, and she's like, if you want to come and watch TV, or if they do,
But it could have been the Tinderman, couldn't it?
She's like, the Tinderman's it's folklore. It's it's something we tell when we don't know what exactly is happening. We kind of you'll have heard of them. You'll have heard of the Tinderman. You'll have heard of all these things. You'll have heard of the snow siren. You'll have heard of all these different things. It's everyone has their own way to explain when something horrible or something that they don't understand happens. We just want you to be safe.
Okay. Well, I'm meeting the guys at the diner. Is there any chance I can have money for a special burger?
She's like, oh yeah, of course. Pulls out like $5 or something. I don't know the transition rate on this, but but she pulls out the money, like she hands it to you, but literally when it's sort of like locked between the pair of you, she keeps hold of it for a second and she says, curfew, home by, no questions, we love you, that's all.
Okay, I'll definitely be in for 7 as long as you can give me a lift to the diner.
She looks at you like huh, good hustle. Wait,
And can I have extra money for a Coke float?
Make
please?
yourself a cool roll. Would you like to throw any extra oomph into this?
If I'm getting a Coke float, I'm throwing extra effort into this.
Okay, yeah, throw it. What's your cool? Cool's D4.
Oh, that was such a
Oh
bad
dear,
fuck up.
that is a critical fail. That is a 1
I'm
and a
going to
2.
spend a penny.
Spend
One and
a
a
penny. Alright, okay.
Go on and one, that,
Shit,
by the way.
boy.
That's a 3 and a 3, so that's a fail, but it's not a critical fail. So wow, that could have, no, I don't know how she could have been angry with you with that one.
You
I don't know
grounded.
how I could have worked it out, but she says fine, I'll give you a lift, but no Coke float. You've got trials in a couple of weeks, and you need to start shaping up.
But the ice cream will give me calcium.
She's like, my son, and just leads you to the car. And what we'll do is, do you want to go straight into the diner?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, does your mum drop you off at the diner?
yeah, she does.
Like outside, and you completely. It's not like school where you're ashamed to get dropped off outside
No,
by your mum.
we're among friends. I assume that my friends know my mum.
Your mum knows everyone.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal.
So yeah, you just like, do you roll into the diner? Are these chilling out? Are these outside the diner or what? What's
I
the
don't know,
crack? I
right?
mean, it's not like you're going to get there and there's going to be a dead body outside.
No, we're in waiting.
All right, okay.
Sat in a booth.
Sat round,
I wait outside, we can wait inside.
sharing a plate of chips. I mean, it's the end of summer. It's still warm. It's dry. It's not horrible or anything. It's sort of late afternoon.
You're horrible.
The burger is called a Viking burger.
Nice. Okay, so diner. Is this a Viking-themed diner by any chance?
No, diners are inherently sort of sports themed.
The Norse diner.
But the owner is Scandinavian.
Scandinavian Steve, they call him.
Scandinavian Steve.
It's easier than calling Stefan.
Viking burgers.
And he perennially has his face half painted purple, half gold,
Oh yeah, it's half sports bar.
half actual Viking diner. I don't even know what a Viking
Half strip
diner would
club.
look like.
Half sports bar, half.
Only you could present an idea where a diner has 3 halves. How?
It's 1.5 diners. Well, that has
half sports bar,
gold,
half
that has
medieval
purple,
times
that
with
has got
Vikings.
some
Yeah,
Viking
that's
stuff on.
fine.
Half strip club.
Strip club as well, apparently.
That's in the back.
Yeah.
It's a 3-half diner.
I'm just going to put here the strip bar
In the back.
idea
It's after 10 p.m.
got canned
You can see through the chef's like
by the council.
window
Do we have a
bit
vote on that?
through to the other side at the bar. You know, like the Witchwood.
Do you work for the council? Then no. Okay, so we have Viking burgers. So these Viking burgers, they are like the main thing on the menu. So
It's the go-to menu
for
item.
the money you were given, you could afford a Viking burger, but it wouldn't be with fries or anything. It would just be the burger.
$5 in the
It's fine.
80s.
But
Wow,
this
probably
thing,
buy everybody a burger.
this thing's like that.
Yeah,
It's
probably
like
buy everybody one.
if you imagine what would feed a Viking football player for the team, that's the sort of thing.
Plenty of protein.
Oh, these things are massive. They've got like half a cow in them. You just go in and it's like one Viking right here. They look at you. The guy behind the bar is like, behind the service light, it's like little Smith, sit your ass down. Just like looks at you immediately. That face says it all. He just looks at you, it's like little Smith. This guy behind the bar, behind the serving thing, you're pretty certain was in the same area
I
as
just
your
shoot
brother.
him a look that could only say F you.
Stop. Now, these, this guy basically is just like, sort of not douche or anything, but he's a bit of a sort of
Retired jock.
He's a bra. Yeah, he's a retired, not even retired bra, but he's a bra in his.
Is he PC?
In his late,
Is he called Lance?
He's
I
in his,
imagine he'd be called like Lance.
absolutely, Lance works at the back. Okay, so.
Does he wear a polo shirt?
He definitely wears a polo shirt.
Exclusively.
It'd be a Lacoste polo shirt in like just pastel colours.
Lecoq. Sportif.
Lecoq Sportif. I know it's the 80s, but jeez.
That's what my
Does he have like a white cardigan or something?
Right,
Just
okay.
folded round his neck.
This one instead, it just says Lecoq on it.
Lecoq.
But L-A-C-O-Q. Okay, but this guy's, he's just behind it. He's like, one Viking burger right up.
He has a backwards Minnesota Vikings cap on.
Yes, he is. He's a throwback from, high school football genius, type person who didn't make it, who got to that point, failed, and then it's just.
He puts his cap on backwards, but still uses his hand to shade his eyes in the sun.
Yes,
And he literally uses the cap backwards
Because
to cover his bald patch.
He's a perfect example of somebody who invested everything in football and then didn't quite make it, which is the thing that worries you secretly. That's another thing. The reason why this guy's a bit.
He couldn't even spell SAT.
Pretty much.
That's how stupid this guy is.
That's the thing. Not generalising saying that anybody who works in a burger
Three
places
letters
like
and
this,
it's
but
saying.
for the purposes
Don't
of this,
spell that.
it just happened. It happened. This guy didn't get his, didn't make his, make his career or anything, and he just.
Well, he did. His career is.
His career is now flipping burgers. To be fair though, this guy makes a decent burger.
He's 30 and he still thinks
And
he's
a decent
18.
amount of money. Because it's a busy diner.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a premier diner.
this is the premier diner. There are two other diners in this place, in this town. They're not as anywhere near as.
Has
things
the
as this.
recent news affected the level of trade in this diner?
Not really. If anything, the bars in town. I mean, you noticed as you were driving down, there are a fair few people kicking into the local bars. Like loads of the guys coming off work have just have gone into the bars and have basically, you just see that door's constantly swinging, and there's more people going. You can see out the windows. There's more people going in than there are coming out. So people are seriously drinking away their problems at the moment.
Cool.
So yeah, you're in the diner, sat around a table with 2 big plates of chips and
there are a lot of people going
fries.
Aren't there a lot of people going into the bars considering there's a kid missing? Shouldn't they kind of be out looking for him?
They're going to find the kid at the bottom of that glass.
Wow,
That's a bit deep for
she's a
a
year older than you, by the way. But yeah, that's
I had a moment of.
yeah. You had a moment of being an adult there for
Yeah.
a second. You're a kid.
It's
you know,
this
thinking
burger I've
like,
just ordered from the adults menu.
Oh,
So it's made me.
Barry Big Bollocks.
Yeah,
for a second.
yeah,
Made
yeah.
you think you meant.
Not for long, because I won't be able to finish this burger. So
It's a good point. Okay, so these, let's just say, food arrives and stuff, and that's, you eat, you talk. Is there any sort of anything specific you discuss, or is it just shooting the shit and just
kid stuff?
Putting the world to rights, looking at the adults and like, aren't they stupid? They should all be out just like combing for this poor girl.
We also start discussing what we're going to do about, like, looking at we're at the diner. This is the place where the body.
Discuss away. I will sit here and drink.
We're going to see if we can go outside afterwards and check it, see if the police missed anything. Maybe around the back of the dumpsters, under the dumpster,
Yeah, sure.
in the dumpster.
Yeah. Go and look for clues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after we finish our plate of shit.
Okay, so yeah, cut from there round to the back of the place where the dumpster was, where the infamous, Lance, what's he called? Lance cocks you another one that's like, yeah, boy, on the way out.
On the way out,
he's like, big things to other people around the restaurant going, this guy's going to be the
I try and persuade Lance to shoot me a free Coke float.
Okay, make me a cool roll, and you will have, you can use a d6 as though you focus him, but you wouldn't, if you fail it, you won't. He's like, no, look, little man, big man, I'll have my nuts for this, if I start, even for the Son of God, see you later, little Jesus, and all this, like, little, just sort of turf you out the door.
Worth a try.
But he's there on the way out, giving you really think he should have given you the Coke float, because he's like, little Smith here, little Smith, big brother, it's going to be huge, it's going to be the next insert name of football player from the 1980s who was, this guy's, basically your brother was God in this town.
So you see his brother, he's going to be better than his brother.
Yeah, basically thinks he's the protege, he's going to be the next, the next big thing. So yeah, dumpster outside the back. It's the infamous shot. You actually walk up to it and you remember taking the shots, but it's weird, like having just taken all the people out, that you can just walk up to it now. But also, you can remember where the body was because you've got that kind of memory.
Well, I was stood over here when I was taking my pictures, because there was like a bit of a crowd of people here, and I could see that the body was kind of placed just over there. So maybe if we focus on just that little bit over there, just to the side of the dumpster, you never know, might find something. Same across there as well, and the other side of the alley. Let's start splitting up and having a look, guys.
Okay, I'll go and have a look at the dumpster.
I will join him.
Okay, you
Lexi,
basically.
should we check the other side of the alley?
Take him.
Lexi, should we check the other side of the alley?
Yes.
Lexi's quite a quiet character, considering she's a cheerleader and supposed to be part of the social group. She's supposed to have no end of things to say, but weirdly she hasn't said a great deal.
She's currently licking her wounds.
Perhaps there is that. Perhaps she's warming up, and in future sessions she will have more to say. At the moment, we'll leave it to it. If you feel like you have anything important and pertinent to the story to say, then feel free to speak up. Other than that, would you care to make me some insight rolls?
Not done well on this so far today.
No.
And again.
That's a 2 and a 1. That is a 1 and a 1.
Oh, 1 and 6.
Oh shit! Roll your 6 again. That's a 4. So that's a 10. That's a success with a shift. That is 2 failures.
Awful.
Okay, so with
I'm going to spend a penny and roll again because we need the insight.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
that's
got
fine.
plenty, they don't carry. So.
That's a pair of 4s. If you want to roll those 2 4s again, we'll do that.
That worked well.
Excellent. And that's another 4 on top of there. So there's 1 shift. Okay, so there was a success with a shift.
That's a 10.
Okay, and a success with a shift. So do you want to combine them together to figure out some sort of question or line of thing that you'd like to discuss?
We're on the same side of the alley as well, aren't we?
Bearing in mind, if you ask Chloe, she knows when these kids were found, and the kid that was found outside the diner was found roughly a week ago. That's why she was still developing the pictures in a dark room the other night.
So are these dumpsters that we are stood in front of?
They are.
Are they elevated from the floor at all?
One's they're on wheels. One of them's a food one because it's at the back of a restaurant, and one of them's for like it's got a weird form of recycling in there almost. It's got like sort of slots in it, one for bottles, one for paper receptacles and such, one for no, sort of one for bottles, cans, paper, that sort of thing. Very, very basic.
So shall we take one each and have a look?
Oh, you're going to flip a coin to see who jumps in what, or are you just going to have a route round?
It's your idea, you should jump in the garbage.
Fine.
Okay.
I imagine you'd be taller, bigger builds.
You are. I mean, that's the thing. He's not tall, but he's stocky. We discussed this, and he's still waiting for his growth spurt.
Is that the choke?
So yeah, you literally just like you're gonna have to. I'm not gonna make a roll for it because it's just waste time because somebody will help you. So yeah, it's more fun this way. So yeah, which one are you going for? Glass, paper, cans, that sort of thing.
Paper. Soft landing.
I'm such an evil bastard. Anyway, okay, if you'd like to make a roll for that using your scamper, somebody can help you if you wish.
Well, I'm there. Would I not?
Stop throwing stuff about the place.
Well, I've got a D8 in scamper.
Okay, and you get a wild die as well. If you'd like to focus, you can focus.
I'm good.
I love this focus thing. Okay, there's a 6. Easy enough, you're in, no major problems. God damn it, I was hoping I could drop you in head first. Evil.
So with my succeed with style thing from the last.
Yes. Oh, you're going to carry that over?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you after? What are you trying to do?
Anything that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
That could pertain to this.
You get in the bin. You have a route around this thing. You find lots and lots of. There's no food wasted or anything. It's all paper refuse. It's all been really, really, carefully done. All the Ming is in the other thing. This is still pretty grim because you're in a thing next to a thing filled with, used beer bottles and stuff, which stinks. Next to the thing with all cans and metal stuff that stinks. You're in the paper bit in the middle, looking through all this stuff, trying to find scraps of paper through napkins and little fry box things, which are a little bit greasy no matter what's going to happen. And you're just looking through. Outside, he's kind of has this little moment to himself where he goes, they didn't find the body in the bin. And he just sort of, on the bin's like, the body wasn't found in the bin.
No, but the killer could have dumped something in the bin.
He's like,
Wouldn't the,
okay. Right, okay. So
the
yeah,
bins have been emptied in a week?
Probably. But you can fish through this thing, and you are absolutely certain by the end of it that everything in here is above board.
I jump out of the bin.
There is nothing to do. Like, if it was some sort of plot by the owners of the diner, the Viking diner, then they've got away with it in this case, but otherwise you'd think they're pretty much in the clear because there's nothing in there. There's no sort of bloody handkerchiefs or any sort of paraphernalia like of having kidnapped a child or that sort of thing.
Did you say the dustbin's on wheels?
Yes.
Could we then push it away?
What? Which one? The one filled with food? No. The one filled with glass and paper and cans? Probably.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You've still got an investigating thing that if you'd like to use it.
I'm now out of the bin.
You have your shift left as well. So you basically, between you, you've got 3 things you can use to investigate.
So first I'm going to get out of the bin.
Okay.
I need to roll for that?
No, that's fine.
Right, cool.
Just waste time. It was more fun just because there was the risk of you ending that comedic 80s kid movie, land in the bin head first like Chunk or that sort of thing.
Right, let's move the bin. See if there's anything under it or behind it.
Yeah. Let's push it out of the way.
Okay. Pushing it out of the way, there is that sort of. There's like a clean spot. Where if something's been, when you pick a cup up and it's not moved for a while, and there's that there's that sort of clean bit, but it's weird because it's up against the wall. It's also, like if sun's been shining on something for a while and you move something away and you can see the mark. These bins haven't been moved in
7 days.
No, in ages. If they get moved, if they get moved, it's almost as if they get moved for emptying and putting back. So you're pretty damn certain these bins haven't been moved at
Is there
all.
anything on the ground?
Underneath the bins, just like, maybe the occasional bottle cap, fag end,
You just said it was clean, though.
that sort of thing. Under the bins, not in the bins. In the bins, this place, you don't get to be the diner without following the rules. Like these guys, probably the health code. Even though Lance seems like a bit of a bellend, he works.
And did you say the other bin we couldn't push away?
The other bin, you tried to push it, but it's literally like you ever seen a slop bucket? Imagine a slop bucket the size of a small skip with a lid on it that as soon as you lift the lid, there are flies and all sorts of ming, and it's literally the lot of you have that little. That even Lexi has that moment of.
I got the other one.
Yeah, but that's a paper.
No, go on. It's
Why
got to be
not?
your turn to get in this bin.
It was your idea to jump in the bin.
Before I got in there.
Why have I got to jump in the one with the shit in it?
Because you didn't get in the one I just got in.
Fuck's sake.
Get in the bin.
Do you want to
For
flip?
coin for it.
Do you want to flip it? Yeah.
No, I've already been in one bin. It's his turn to go in the bin.
It was a paper bin. It's like being not in a bin.
I still went in the bin.
It's still, you can
I
call
wa-
it what you want. It's
I went
clean.
in a bin.
It's cleaner than my house, that bin. It
I went in the
doesn't
bin.
matter.
Well, you won't bother about getting in this one then, will you?
That's
should
worse
sit
than my
there.
house. Wow.
Get in the bin.
Feelings now.
Do you want to make opposing cool rolls? Because cool being charisma.
Yeah, that's okay.
And this is without the aid of wild die. This is just
Quietly gets into
base
it.
cool versus base cool. Roll at the same time, and I'll
Wait,
count
hang on.
down.
Kills the
Oh, shit.
I win.
That's me. I'm in the bin.
Sorry.
Well, no, this was whether you could convince him or not.
All right, so I can't
Yeah.
convince him.
Well, you may be able to roll a 4, and then we'll see if you roll it again.
Oh yeah, fair five.
Oh shit!
So it's pretty much. It's
Unless I
either-
roll a 1, you in the bin, boy.
Keep
That's
rolling.
an 8.
Keep
well,
rolling.
I guess I'm jumping.
Wait,
into the bin.
wait. I'm just going to finish convincing you.
Somebody
first.
else, if they want to put their phones down and join in, can. That's
That
a
is
9.
a 9.
Can join in this and maybe tell them that it's maybe a good idea, maybe a bad idea.
Busy on the other side of the elevator now, to be fair.
I'm gonna help
You
to
doing what,
convince
sorry?
him
Easy
even
on
more
the
that he should
other
go
side.
head first.
I wanted to cash a chip in.
Have you heard
Okay.
this?
Before we decide whether he jumps in
Wait,
the bin or
Lexi
not,
has something to say.
fucking
I'm gonna
hell.
try and convince him to dive in head first.
You know you
I'm
got.
gonna say you had the shift to be able to make him do that, but
But I
oh, I know
Well,
because
The
saying
magicians now. I could, I'll get in the bin. I'm not going in it head first.
I'm gonna convince you it's a good idea.
I'm not jumping into a swimming pool full of shit.
you could just strip him up if you really wanted, but it would be a scamper roll
Oh yeah, okay. I'll do
Show
that.
us some flesh and I'll get in.
with a wild die as well.
Oh, well, let me throw my wild dice. I've already got a 5, so it's not really retarded. But
That's fine. And a 3. Okay. So yeah, if you decide to do it, she will trip you up, and it will be it will be pretty obvious that she's done it.
Surely there's no deciding to do it. Talk him into it.
So now you've sort of told me that if I do it, you're going to be tripped up.
You're going in the bin.
Well,
that's
obviously, I'm going into
Do you
the bin.
remember? Do you remember our discussion about metagaming? That's what metagaming is.
Well, the choice was I've already been told to get in the bin.
boy, get in the
You
bin.
were in the
You
process
shut
of
your mouth, you're over the road.
right.
I don't
Okay,
listen to you.
you were in the process. You kind of figured out because you're actually strangely on your sheet. It's quite lanky.
I'm the scum of the group. I get in the bin.
You will be.
Well, no, you'd figured out that you could lean over the edge of the bin and sort of kind of reach in, but
You're
then
going
she
bin swimming.
Oh,
she
no.
just kind of tips you up and you fall.
I
in.
don't see this coming, do I?
You are.
So I'm in the bin now.
You are in the bin.
Head first. Nothing's gone into my mouth.
No.
Fine.
Well, let's have a quick.
Can he roll for open mouth?
Yes, roll a d4 for open mouth. Odd that it's open, even it's not.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah.
What goes in?
It's a half-eaten Viking burger.
Oh, it could be worse.
About 3 or 4 hours.
Oh,
And
So
do you know
when-
that's probably the
That
best
is
meal
the
I've
best
had all
you've
week.
eaten all week.
Yeah.
So she's actually done you a favour.
it's swimming in human
Can I-
feces.
Can I finish it?
Oh no, it's not like that.
Can I finish it while I'm there?
Oh yeah.
That's all, I might as well
You
own
really
it.
want.
Get it in your pocket.
Absolutely.
take it home,
No, finish
Feed
it.
your whole
Ash.
family on it.
I'm not feeding them bums.
Absolutely.
Spending for yourself in this world.
Every tramp for himself.
Now, I'm going to assume
Scum
that
for a reason.
I'm going to assume that you're using this like you're sort of kind of mooching through this thing. You're like, well, I'm down here. I've got
I'm
this
gonna
burger in
listen-
my mouth.
I'm gonna
While you've got the
laugh
burger
like
in your mouth, though, it stops anything else from seeping in. So
It's a burger snorkel.
there you go.
So as I'm
You're like in the bin going,
Siblings do
stop
all this
fucking
shit."
helping me. And this is minging, you know.
I'm just gonna think about this burger while I'm doing it.
Okay.
Do I find anything apart from the hot meal I've just eaten?
You do.
Oh,
You find a syringe.
it's not in my arm, is it?
And no.
This is going to be problematic.
Roll for it.
That wasn't there before.
Make
It's stuck in the burger.
make a roll for AIDS. No.
You're going to need a 9.
I have no time left on this planet. I'm going to die soon.
No. Okay, so you basically you're mooching around and you happen to just like the back of a syringe how it's got that sort of bit where you can you manage to just catch that and you're like the hell it, and then you just sort of you feel it ding on the bottom of the thing and sort of go, oh crap, and you just like surface with it. And you just like
I'm gonna jump out and
like that moment in the Bond things when they come out of the water, like except you are dripping in bean juice, burger fat.
have I still got a burger in my mouth?
Coleslaw, yes, you still have a half-eaten Viking burger
sounds
in
like
your
a
mouth.
proper meal. This that I've got to make.
You still have a Viking burger in your mouth, or half,
I'm going to
quarter
take
off.
it in turns to jab each of them with the syringe.
Well, that would be the end of your thing anyway.
Of course it would.
Yes, it really would.
I jab it in my own eye.
No. Remember,
Let me end on a
remember
high.
the overriding principle.
Did you enjoy your meal, Mike?
I've got a hot meal.
Did you enjoy your meal, Michael?
I did actually, yeah.
Viking burger with a side of beans. Is it good?
Best meal I've had in months.
A bean shower.
No, you see, you thought I was...
No.
I
You're
was
still a
trying to
load
help.
of dicks.
Oh, I
No,
was trying to help.
no.
I was just
No.
trying to help.
He's totally not having it. Just like, yeah, fuck you guys. Yes, I found this.
I enjoyed my
found
meal,
this-
but you
If it
still
was
a pair
still
of
warm,
nuts.
that's probably the maggots inside it.
Yeah, again. Fuck off.
Just for those who... Well, nobody's going to see this.
Michael flips off Chloe.
Yeah.
I flipped the bird.
Yeah. So we
Flip the bee.
we have a healthy right to summarise this thing because this is probably going to be about the end of session 1. But to summarise this thing, we have a healthy sort of flipping each other's shit and any laughs at each other's like look, this is the whole reason why everybody kind of sticks together. The whole reason why Michael's part of the group, still even though he's one of the founders, is and the reason why Lexi's part of the group and the reason why Chloe's part of the group is that they all can be themselves and they all can they can work together and yeah they might have a light-hearted laugh at each other occasionally, but in the end it's all it's all just in jest, it's all just light-hearted jokery, but that's the reason why they've worked together so well, and they might have just scratched the surface on this thing. But if you'd like to do one sort of thing from this. What are you laughing at? Go on.
No, nothing.
Not you.
Do you not want to get it out of your system?
No, it's just mostly pulling.
I'm not going to stop this thing because when I stop this thing now, this will be the end of the session.
No, that's fine. That's why I don't want to mention it.
Okay. So the end of this session basically finds we've got Lexi staring into space. Chloe is just literally, looking at the scene and trying to figure out, trying to extrapolate something from it. Make an imagination roll.
Imagination.
Wow. Oh, okay. So you got a success there. Shit. Okay. So you got a success from this. You can kind of from looking at the scene, looking at where the body was, because they didn't move it when they started to do all the bits on it. They basically just built like a tent around it and started to push people back. You're pretty certain, like almost 100% certain from the way it was all set up, that this body was just dumped. It wasn't put there for a reason. It was like it was just dumped, just.
Like dumped in a hurry.
Just they dumped it there because they didn't need it anymore. It's not dumped there for any sort of like I'm dumping in this here to try and screw with this place or to try and screw with anyone in particular. Literally, they're done with it and they dumped it. And that's what you got from this.
I got a hot meal.
Michael got himself his first decent meal in a while, and he's going to end up going home to a bowl of cabbage stew and
disappointment.
Yeah, and very disappointing dumplings. But you're going to go home with the taste of Viking burger in your mouth, and you only ever had one of these once before, and that was when Harrison's parents took you and Harrison out for a meal.
It's like Christmas.
Harrison, what would you like to take from this? Looking at your friend currently dripping in bean juice and holding a syringe in one hand.
I think we're going to shut the lid. I think I'll walk away.
I think I'm going to be confused. I think confusion would be what I take away from this.
Okay.
I feel that there's still a lot to be learned. There's still questions unanswered. I think confusion is probably.
Lots of questions.
I think confusion is probably the moment. You know, the feeling at the moment.
Okay. That's cool. So if everybody's kind of happy at where we are, I mean, I think we've managed to grow the place a bit. You've managed to learn who you are as people. I'd like to think you're going to learn. There's going to be no massive rush on this. It's one of these that will sort of ramp up quite quickly. As soon as you get to sort of one thing, you'll go, holy shit, and then you'll start to dig at it from there. But at the moment, we're really sort of like kind of still manifesting you as people, because the character creation, sitting around a table and being able to go, I'm, TV geek, I'm this, that, the other, is great, but until you actually figure out who you are as part of the group and how you interact with each other, that sort of thing, that's that's the main thing about this, and you'll get more out of the story, and you'll build more relationships with people. Like we've fleshed out the diner beautifully. We have a crazy maths teacher who only had a name at the beginning of this session. We've got a couple of potential places to investigate. One you already have, all that sort of thing. So yeah. What I'd like to do while we're still recording, maybe take a pause and then come back to it. I don't know. For the sake of recording. Was to, at the end of the session, just for being here, this is, like on the other games we've played, if you don't turn up, you end up having something horrible done to you. Well, these games, I'm going to do this where, by turning up, getting through an entire session and finishing, you get a rank to spend in something. Now, you can't spend it on your base stats, but you can either bank it for later, or you can spend it on... No, you can't spend it on massive tits. You could... see, cool for you is your charisma anyway. So you can spend it on filling one of these extra slots in on the grid and basically putting something in there like... If you wanted... I see you throwing the arms already at D8. If you wanted to add something on there like something pertinent to this game... Or if you wanted to just bank that and save it till the end of the next one until you can decide on something.
So I can't add to my...
You can't add to your base stats.
Okay.
The ones that are printed on the sheet.
But what if you've got better at something?
See, base stats, because base stats started at D4 and the highest they can go is D8, everybody would just become really fucking cool at everything very quickly. Now, if you want to do that for this session, like where you can up your own stats, that's fine.
I just want to add
like if you feel like you've become more...
I've become more insightful, for instance.
Yeah, alright. If we're doing that, I hadn't put that in the base rules for it, but yeah, if you want to do that, and we'll do that for this, you will now, instead of having a D4, you've spent your rank, so you've got a D6 in there. If you want to just put a little dash in there, just to put, or a little star in there, just to show that that's something that you've done later on, we'll do that. So Fred, aka Harrison, has picked another point in insight, which brings him up to a D6. And Michael, do you feel like you've become more of something in this?
It's become less hungry.
I think I'd actually probably give you another one in pluck. Okay, I'll do it for that. Because it took balls to jump into the bin. Go with all the shit. Simon, aka Chloe, what do you feel that you've improved on in this
Not the dice rolling, that's for sure.
Do you feel like you could add an extra? Yeah, there is that. Could you add an extra special skill? Now, these special skills, if you wanted to use school paper as a skill or an attribute in this, you could buy yourself a D4 using this one from this session.
Photography?
It's not really done any photography in this one. So yeah, school paper equals contacts, equals reputation. That's why things in this are a lot more broad.
Doesn't even have to equal reputation, which is a...
Well, that's the thing, school paper counts for everything. Everything that school paper, within reason, like, it entails that as well. So...
Where shall I put that?
It's up to you. If you feel like, this session you became better at doing something specific, if you feel like you became cooler...
I don't really feel like I managed to get anything done, really.
Could he not bank it then?
You can bank it if you want. If you want to write at the top of here, one rank. One rank banked for later or something. Session 1, dash session 1 or something, because then we know. If you decide later on, you'd have to basically spend it within another session, because then you've obviously got to kind of remember the path of what you do
next session.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the thing, because it starts quite slow, but like I say, it ramps up pretty quickly.
I had plenty of things I wanted to discuss, but they all spent too much time.
Lexi,
Bins.
other than artwork and general mime, what do you feel like you've gotten better at this session?
Nothing. Bank it.
Nothing? Bank it? Alright, write it at the top. One rank banked. Okay, so that's one banked for Ben, aka Lexi, one banked for Simon, aka Chloe. Everyone else has picked theirs. And next session, probably call it Searching for the Tinder Man or something. Searching for the Grinder Man.
Swiping for the Tinder Man.
Swiping for the Grinder Man. No, so I'll figure out a title for it. And